Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Valley View Golf. Joining us is the head coach, Jamie Addley, along with a couple of players that are pretty darn good, Hannah Yanoski and Ronnie Yanoski. Let's start out with Coach Addley. Coach, nice to have a couple golfers on your team, and the relation doesn't hurt. They do pretty darn good on the golf course.
Absolutely. Pretty much every match I can count on both of them.
How about the 1-2 punch? Is it usually Ronnie first, Hannah first, or does it go back and forth?
It goes back and forth. It's different every match. You never know which one's going to be the one that comes in first.
Well, Jamie, let's first talk about Hannah. 3 years in a row, a district title for her. Tell us about her golf game.
Her golf game is, for high school girls, fantastic. She is probably one of the most competitive girls I've ever met, and people as well. I mean, she's just competitive with the boys as much as when she's in the girls' event. And, I mean, she really works at her game.
And then let's head over to Ronnie. How about him on the course?
There is no doubt that he is probably the best player in the league when he wants to be. Some days he shows up and nobody's beating him. And there's other days where he grinds and fights through things and still finds a way to win, which, you know, it's truly hard to compete against that if you're playing him. His record this year is pretty outstanding. We were just talking about it on the way home, actually. And, I mean, he works as hard as she does. So, and, you know, it's nice when the both of them have each other and they kind of push each other. So, I mean, it makes the competitive drive is there for both of them. And, I mean, his golf game is pretty solid from top to bottom.
And Coach, I'm sure it's great to get both of them to move on to that next step after competing at districts, Hannah winning and Ronnie qualifying.
It makes life a little bit easier having both of them. And, you know, Hannah's been fortunate enough to move on the last couple of years. And, you know, Ronnie's been close the past 2 years. So it was really nice having both of them get in this year. You know, it's kind of a special thing to have, you know, a sibling with you in that. And, I mean, they can kind of help each other and, you know, guide their way through it.
Well, great to hear, Coach. We appreciate you joining us. Let's get to Hannah Yanoski here on the John Mendola Show. Hannah, for you, take us back to when you first started playing some golf.
I think I was around 11 years old or somewhere around there. End of fifth grade going to sixth, and my dad gave me his old set, and I've been with it ever since.
You talk about your brother or you. Who was the first one to kind of go? Was it your brother start or you start?
We started right at the same time, actually. We started playing, and then I played golf only, you know, but Ronnie kept playing baseball along with golf up into fifth grade. But we started at the exact same time. You know, we both got our sets right at the same time, so at the same time we started playing.
How about the competition? What's that like heating up with your brother, let alone the other competitors on the course?
It does, but today I was just focused on my own play. I was trying not to think, you know, outward against, you know, other players. But, yeah, by the time I'm done with my round, I always check his score first to see, you know, if I beat him, rub it in his face a little more. But he got me by stroke today, so, I mean, yeah, that was very fun.
3 in a row for you. Did you feel the pressure this year, or have you felt it, you know, since you started as a freshman, or has it kind of seemed to get a little easier?
Well, I didn't really feel it as a freshman more so, or sophomore year, you know, with Julia there, I was just worried about qualifying. But this year, I felt the pressure probably the most out of the past two, you know, trying to come in and defend the title. So I really put that pressure on myself, yeah. I felt more pressure this year.
Hannah, when you talk about your game versus your brother, what's the difference other than, you know, maybe the obvious of him hitting the ball a little bit further or something like that? But how about the differences on the course when you're playing?
I'm more I have a tendency to hit a little bit more errant shots than he does every once in a while. So he's pretty, he has 10-yard misses maybe, but mine seem to come in, he's laughing at me, but they seem to come in bigger sizes, Instead of hitting a 10-yard snap hook like Ronnie does, I'll hit like a 30 or 40-yard snap hook. So
there you go.
Yeah, I just have bigger misses, but we're both good at scrambling, so it's always fun to see how the matches end up.
Let's talk about your putting game. Is that something that you keep working and working on? Tell us a little bit about how you feel with that.
My putter all throughout the season has really saved me in matches and saved me in tournaments. Like, for example, the Jackman, my putter I probably had close to somewhere to like low 30s for putts, probably like 32 putts. Took a lot of long putts. Today I had 3 putts that led to 2 doubles and a triple. So, today my putting wasn't the greatest, but as good as it should have been. But my putter is really, I can't complain about my putter at all, to be honest.
Hannah, it's your junior year. Have you thought at all about what your future lies ahead? Is college something you want to do? Is golf something you want to do at the collegiate level?
I'm looking at some small D1 schools, some D2 schools, so definitely something I'd like to do at a collegiate level. And
then how about the conversation to be at the same school with your brother, or you just want to kind of do your own thing?
If it boils down to it, I think we'll do it, but we're not looking for that specifically, to be honest. We'd like a little separation just for you.
How about the best quality of your brother, Ronnie? Tell us about what he does that you're proud of him, whether it's in the classroom, on the course, or just as a brother.
Nothing in the classroom, Probably his ability to take jokes and stuff. Sometimes he'll get a little defensive, but whenever I'm mad or whenever I'm joking with him, he always seems to take it like a champ, especially when I'm mad. Because my temper swears a little bit sometimes, and he's always seemed to take it like a champ. So his ability to roll with the punches, I guess I could say.
Well, it sounds like you have a pretty fun relationship with your brother. Let's get over to Ronnie right now. And Ronnie, for you, seeing your sister win a couple of, actually 3 now, district championships, what's it like for you to watch her go to work and do the job on the course?
Well, I've been going down to Golden Oaks for 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year. Just watching her and watching all the other boys that qualified too, and I've really learned a lot going down there. What the course is like, how to manage yourself closing around, and it really helped me out.
Ronnie, how about your golf game? You qualify at districts, and I'm sure it feels great for you to go on to the next step. Tell us about your personal game. Keep fighting and trying to get that mark, and here it is. This year you did it as a junior.
Well, I'm not really known as the best ball striker. I don't really hit a lot of balls off the center of the club face, but I keep it relatively straight, and I hit greens when I have to. I make putts when I have to, and I think that's what got the job done today.
Ronnie, you talk about the competition in the Lackawanna League this year. It has been off the charts. I mean, some great golfers.
Oh, it's excellent, especially with Marco Nieto playing well. Everyone is playing well. The cut was 77 was a playoff and 76 got in. The last time we've seen that is when Anthony Sebastianelli, Nick Beckish, Terry Hurst, and all them were around. So that's great competition.
Ronnie, what kind of pride do you take in your golf game? I mean, your sister has her type of play, your style. Tell us about the differences in style and, again, what you think you excel at.
I really do think that I'm a better iron player than she is. She might be able to say the same too. I'm better of a putter inside 10 feet. I'm better inside 10 feet than her. But other than that, we're pretty leveled out.
How about getting out and playing around with your sister? I'm sure that could be fun. At the same time, there's probably a time where you guys get on each other's nerves on the golf course. Normal brother-sister stuff.
Yeah, there's some altercations. We'll leave it at that.
All right. How about your family overall and the support? Your dad's into golfing. Tell us a little about him.
I wouldn't be here without my father and all my family that supported me today and throughout this year and my whole golfing career. My mother, my friends, everyone. I wouldn't be here without them.
And tell us about your coach, Coach Addley. Tell us about what he tries to get out of both of you on the golf course.
Well, he knows the potential that we both have going into every, whether it's a tournament, a match, anything. He knows that we can do it. It all just depends if we could coach ourselves through it. There's only so much he could do.
Well, he alluded to the confidence level that he has in you, and when your game is on, he doesn't think he can be beat. Tell us about that mental aspect of golf and how you try to balance that yourself.
Well, they say a lot. It's 90% mental, 10% physical, and it's true because if you can't focus mentally and you can't coach yourself through a round and say that you can't do it, then well, it's simple. You're not going to do it. So it's very important mentally to stay in the tournament.
Ronnie, your future endeavors, your sister mentioned possibly some golf. I'm thinking that's something you may want to do as well. Any thoughts right now?
Oh, God, I'd love to golf. Maybe D2, D1. Even if I can't do that, just golf at a small school. And if I don't really pursue a career in golf, I was maybe thinking of psychology. So I have something to fall back on.
Well, I want to thank you, Ronnie, and your sister Hannah for your time. Congratulations in qualifying for regionals, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Hannah and Ronnie Yanoski here on the John Mendola Show. Valley View Golf. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.